So in theory, Zipcar is super convenient. The company has a fleet of cars, I think 12,000 cars in over 500 major cities. And so what's interesting and convenient about Zipcar is that their cars are readily available in parking spaces very close to you. For instance, I live in Brooklyn, New York. I can leave my apartment, walk 1 block to a Zipcar, and get in and drive off as if it's my very own car. So I recently did Zipcar the other day, and I had a very unusual experience. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It was bad, actually, now that I think about it. So here's the thing about Zipcar. They have a fleet of 15,000 cars across the US, mostly in major cities. I don't know how many members they have, but it's a growing list, right? Because they keep expanding. Obviously, they're meeting demand. Once you sign up for a Zipcar, they will send you a member card in the mail, which you can use to lock and unlock the car. They sort of act as your key. I found out that if you download the app does the same thing. So you can actually use the app to unlock a car and to lock a car. So you actually don't need the physical card. I like the fact that I don't have to go to like a car rental place, fill out 10 pages of paperwork. The customer service at the car rental places in New York City are notoriously bad. But listen, I'm not here to talk about that. We're talking about my first experience with Zipcar. This video isn't intended to bash Zipcar whatsoever. I really just want to give you an idea of what happened when I rented it to go to Long Island for the day. So the day that I booked the Zipcar was a Sunday. Obviously the demand is a lot higher on the weekends, and because the demand is really high, the cars near me were not available. The closest available car was about 8 blocks away. Obviously not a deal breaker. I can walk 8 blocks to the car. It was a Honda Civic, which sucked. Whatever, it's a car, it drives, it's getting me to Long Island. This car that was available 8 blocks away from me was in a parking garage. The one cool thing about the Zipcar app is that it does have a button where you can honk the horn, and so that really helped in the parking garage because it was just like rows and rows of cars. It doesn't tell you what space it's in, it just tells you that it's in that lot. So car horn honked when I pressed the button, and I found the car. So what made this very difficult for me using Zipcar for the first time is that there was no room to get into the car. You could hardly open the door. There was a huge column right next to this dedicated parking spot for the Zipcar. So that was kind of a nightmare. If you are maybe a little bigger of a person, you probably wouldn't have been able to get into the car. You would have to gone through the back seat and crawled over into the front seats. One thing people have to remember is that Zipcar is a car sharing service. So you're sharing this car with your community. Those are the facts, right? What you don't know is who's using the car before you. The guy or girl who rented the car before me was definitely a huge pot smoker. The car reeked of marijuana. Pot. So let's get this straight. I don't care if you smoke pot. I don't care if you smoke cigarettes. I don't care what you smoke. I'm okay with it. That's not a problem with me. The problem was they hotboxed the car. So it reeked of marijuana. They clearly smoked inside the car without any of the windows down. I was getting contact high from that. I didn't want to drive high, obviously, so I put all the windows down. It didn't really help. The smell is there. I don't know if you've ever smoked marijuana in a car before, but if you smoke marijuana in a car and you don't put the windows down, it's going to get into the car seats. The smell is going to be there. Again, I don't care if you smoke in the car. I don't care if you smoke pot in the car. Put the windows down. I mean, as a courtesy for the next driver. That's the thing. This car was a total mess. And unlike a car rental service, there's no Zipcar employee that'll come in after the driver to inspect the car to make sure everything's working okay, to make sure that it's clean for the next driver. That is something that anyone who's renting a Zipcar should understand, is that If you rent a Zipcar, the driver before you could have been a total mess. They could have taken a shit in the passenger seat, and you know, there's no employee that's going to come pick it up. Like, those are the facts. Let's get that clear. Like I said, I'm okay with you smoking in a car. I'm okay with you smoking pot in a car, as long as you leave the windows down. They did not do that. It reeked of pot. It smelled so bad. I had to have the windows down the entire drive on a day that it was 95 degrees to Long Island in New York City traffic. Not only did that happen, this motherfucker did not leave any gas. So as soon as I got on the highway, the gas light went off. That is another rule, Zipcar rule, that you have to leave at least a quarter tank of gas for the next person. They even leave you a gas card in the car for you to use it. You don't use any of your own money. So that was just kind of a big inconvenience. So that's my review of Zipcar, is that it's a great service. I actually love the service. It takes all the, you know, pain points away from renting a car. You can get a Zipcar literally on your street, walk off and drive off with it. It's fairly competitive in terms of rates. Like car rentals are a lot more expensive right now than Zipcar. And I think everyone should know that the membership is not free. They charge you about $7 a month just to have a membership. Not a big deal, but just so you're aware of that. And I really loved Zipcar. I loved the convenience of it. It was so convenient. But I'm just letting everyone know that you have no idea who's going to be the driver before you. They can leave a complete mess. They can leave no gas for you. They can be a nightmare before you get in that car. So that's that. So at the end of the day, Zipcar is great. The driver before you can be questionable. I also recommend, if you are going to get a Zipcar, book in advance. I booked the Zipcar the day before, which is why it was slim pickings for me in terms of like having a car or a vehicle a lot closer to where I live. But that's that. So that's it. That is my Zipcar review. I obviously just got back from the gym. It was on my mind. So I was like, I should do a YouTube video for this. And here it is. I have done it. So, yep. And what else? Oh, yeah. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And visit my website at travelbinger.com. That's it. Okay, great.